Hey, I'm Megan, and this is my channel, Glue Guns and Roses, where I'm all about budget-friendly home decor. In this video, I have some super cute Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you that are great for the summer, but also can be used year-round. In my first DIY, I'm using 4 of these bouquet flowers from the Dollar Tree. I'm not digging the purple and blue, so I popped those off. I'm going to use those for later. And then just taking some scissors, cut the stems off the picks. I add these to my wreath as random as possible, like I don't do any type of pattern. Just stick them in there, and I'm also not hot gluing as I go. I want to make sure that everything's balanced and looks a-okay before I add the hot glue. I did go back and add 2 of the Tweedia flowers. Someone correct me if I said that wrong, please. Anyways, adding the Tweedia, I place those randomly all the way around my wreath as well until I'm happy with the way it looks. After I'm done, it looks about like this. Totally digging it. I like wreaths that are kind of wild and whimsical, and as you can see, no patterns. So I like that look. If you don't, you can definitely do a pattern. Once I was satisfied with the way everything looks, then I flipped it over and added the hot glue only where necessary. Then taking these popsicle sticks from Walmart, they're like 10.5 inches long. I put 3 in a row. Then one of the sticks I cut in half, or cut it down so it's just as long as my little sticks. I'm just using regular scissors. I've seen other people in videos use like saws or whatever. Yeah, I just used regular scissors. I didn't feel like breaking out the handsaw, and it worked just fine for me. Then taking scissors again, I cut the ends of them off. And it's not perfect, and that's okay with me, but I did use sandpaper because I didn't want it sharp, like I didn't want to cut myself. And the sandpaper totally did the trick. Burnt Umber is like one of my favorite acrylic paints, mixed with water, and I paint all over the popsicle sticks and then wipe it away immediately. This kind of makes it look like a stain, and it helps it dry faster if you wipe it away immediately. Using the sticker letters from Dollar Tree, I'm spelling out the word home. You can spell whatever you want to if your last name's short or hello or whatever it may be. These stickers stick to the wood, but not completely, so I did use some Mod Podge to reinforce it, paint it all over my sign. And after that, flip it over, and then hot glue and 4 pieces of twine. This is how I'm going to attach my home sign to my wreath. I weave or fish the little twine through the wreath, then just tie a little bow. I mean, these Dollar Tree wreaths are really kind of janky, so I mean, they're not very thick. You can easily weave the twine through there and tie a bow. Cut off the extra twine because I don't want that showing. And I'm hanging mine with a little piece of rope. And I also wanted my home sign to be like diagonal, not totally straight. Here is what it looks like when it's done. I love the way this looks. This is in my master bathroom on a top shelf or above a top shelf, and I love it. I also put it inside of a thrifted frame. Actually, it's a thrifted canvas that I tore off and stained. I have a video where I did something very similar to that. Anyways, love the way this looks. Can go on a front door, above some hooks, or above a shelf. Totally digging it. For my next DIY, I'm using this sign from the Dollar Tree and white chalk paint. Paint the back because the back will be my front. Nothing special, just 1 coat of paint. I printed this off. It says H, established in 2012, scribbled on the back with a pencil, and then I use a ruler to trace out the straight lines and then just freehand the rest, tracing out the rest of the letters. I use smaller letters, so this took a second, but the H was like really easy to do because it was bigger. As you can see, when you remove the paper, you can see your traced out lines. Then I just took a Sharpie and traced over my letter and established and the numbers. I did fill in the smaller letters and the numbers with a Sharpie. I'm going to leave it like that. And then for the bigger H, I went back with black acrylic paint and painted on the inside. So on my porch DIY video, someone suggested that I trace with a Sharpie first And I don't do letters or the transfer this way very often, but this was like a life changer for me. It worked out really well. So if I'm doing black letters in the future and I need to transfer it, I'm definitely tracing with a Sharpie first and then painting on the inside with some black paint. Then one more of the bouquet flowers from the Dollar Tree, and like half of the Tweedia flowers, I only used 4 stems. Cut them apart and then laid them out like facing away from each other. I took the purple flowers and attached them to the ends. If that doesn't make sense, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And then I used a little bit of the purple flowers for my last DIY. Smushed them together till I liked the way they looked. Took some twine, wrapped it around and tied it really tight. And then kind of like fluffed my swag or bouquet, whatever you want to call it. I fluffed it till I liked the way it looked. Then twine through the hole of my sign. Fish the twine through, and then this is the burlap lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Fold it, make a very basic bow. I'm not the best bow maker. And wrap the twine around it, and then push the twine back through the hole. Pull it as tight as I can. Fluff my flowers how I want them, and then tie a little knot on the back. I also tie a loop, and that's how I'm going to hang it. Now, I didn't seal my sign with Mod Podge, and I didn't use any hot glue. If you're going to be hanging your sign outside, you definitely want to seal it and use hot glue. But since I'm using mine inside, I didn't do any of that. Fold the ends of the ribbon in a little V and give it a cut to make my bow look just a little bit more fancy. And here's what it looks like so far. I love this sign because it's cute for a front door or where I'm putting it in my bedroom, just hanging on a little nail. But I also think this would make a really great wedding gift or an anniversary gift. I like this. You can change the flowers out with this season, but I just love personalized decor. For my next DIY, I'll be using 2 of these candlesticks from the Dollar Tree. And one of these organizers, I found it on like a side aisle. I think it was like a craft bead organizer. I'm not sure, but it screws apart. I'm only using 4 of the little containers. Hot glue, stick it to the candlestick as straight as I can. Hot glue, it does not have the strongest hold when it comes to this, but I promise you, you don't need to use E6000 or anything like that. No need to wait that long. Then the same thing with the other candlestick, hot glue, stick them together. Now I'm using this candle lid I had. This is totally optional. This is free for me. I'm adding it to the bottom of my candlestick to give it more height and just to give the bottom of the candlestick like a different shape. For the top of my candlestick, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree bases, tracing that out on foam. I cut the foam out and then I'm hot gluing it to my candlestick, which will be my top, by the way. I used 5 of the Dollar Tree ropes, but I was able to make 2 candlesticks with that. Dollar Tree used to make rope that was 13 feet long, and now it's 9.5. So if you can find the 13, you probably only need 3 or 4. Anyways, when I'm wrapping the rope, I use hot glue and I start in the middle of the candlestick. And I promise you, it's so much easier to start in the middle. I did do a practice run of this candlestick, and starting at the bottom, it was really hard and you had to use a whole lot more hot glue. But hey, it's your craft. You can do it how you want to. In my opinion, easier to start in the middle. Anyways, after that, for the top, I put the hurricane base on my candlestick and then wrap the rope around it. If I got hot glue, which I did, on the vase, it's glass, so it just peels right off. And so far it looks like this. Super cute, but I want my shape and ridges to be more defined. So I go back where those like 4 little ribbed parts are. I don't know, I'm at a loss for words right now. And I add another piece of rope around that area to make it more defined, stick out more. And I like the way that looks a lot better. Like I said, I made 2 of these candlesticks. So this one is a smaller one, and I didn't use any of the craft dividers or anything. I just took 2 candlesticks, glued them together, and wrapped rope around it. For both of these, I used a total of 5 pieces of rope that are only 9.5 feet long. And these are super cute. I'm totally digging it. It could be coastal, farmhouse, boho. I like the way these look. These are really sturdy, chunky candlesticks like I had envisioned. And I think they can be used year round. Totally digging them. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time.